Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Liz.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going.
That good, huh?
It's going great, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. I'm glad. Hey, this has been awesome. Talking relationships, friendships,
Yeah.
all the things. I've actually learned some things.
That's good. I'm glad that you've learned something, Liz. That's great.
Thanks, Anthony. No, but for real, I
Yes.
think it's been awesome. And we're coming to a close.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to kind of wrap this thing up here.
Yeah, it's been fun talking about friendships. And I think when we look at all these different topics that we've talked about, they're all kind of meant to form us into the person that God is making us into. And he uses other people in our lives, other relationships to form us.
Absolutely. So, okay, then question for you.
Mm.
Who do you think of when you think of somebody that has shaped who you are?
I have multiple mentors in my life over the years. I think of one, his name's Gary. I met with him between high school, college, all my years, talking to him about girlfriends and this and that. And without that relationship, honestly, don't know where I would be today.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But yeah, like that type of thing. Oh, man. I've had friendships in my life that have just really formed who I am. I've had also relationships that probably have formed me in some not great ways.
Okay,
that
yeah.
I've had to course correct.
There you go. Yeah. It
How about
can
you?
form both ways. Same. I mean, I can think of so many people. I think my grandma actually was extremely formative.
That's awesome.
In my life and really in my faith and my spiritual walk.
That's
And
cool.
she's always somebody that I think of. And we really did have like a sweet friendship,
Yeah.
even though she was a grandma, and family,
yeah.
but we had a really sweet,
Love that.
sweet friendship.
Love that. So friends form us. Proverbs 13:20 talks about the wise becoming wise, right? Whoever walks with the wise become wise. So we want to be people who walk with others that shape us into who God wants us to become. But it's both a gift we receive, right? But then we'll talk about it in a moment, it's a responsibility that we also carry to help shape others in our life.
For sure. We should always be thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like, how is this forming and shaping
Yeah.
me? And then what impact, influence am I having on others?
Not all about me. I mean, it is all about me specifically, but for others listening, it's not all about you.
There we go. Okay. I'm so glad that we
Just
clarified
kidding.
that there, Anthony.
So we've talked about a lot.
We have.
We've talked about just in general why friendship even matters.
It's a good place to start.
Yes.
Right? Like, why do we even want to talk about this?
Why do we do that?
Why does it matter?
No. Well, we did that a while back, and I don't remember. We talked about boundaries. What else have we talked about? We've talked about
crucial conversations.
That was a hard one.
That one was a hard one.
I had to have a crucial conversation the other day, and I did not like it, but it was one I had to have.
We talk about this a lot.
Yep.
Like, it's not something you look forward to, but they
No.
are
They're
so
important.
important. Yes. Also, this is a happy one, though. Gathering around the table.
My favorite.
Yes. Bringing people in,
That
sharing
was probably
a
my
meal.
favorite episode, too. That was fun. We
Okay.
should have eaten while we did that, though. And then another hard one, when friendship kind of hurts.
Yes.
We run into situations where we deal with disappointments and people hurt us, right? And then last week was unlikely friendships.
Oh,
That was
yes.
a fun one as well. Those people that are different from us that can sort of expand our horizons, our worldview, all those sort of
and
things.
surprise us.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good. So our friendships, like we said, don't just affect our lives, but they also affect other people's lives. And it's just like this trajectory too, if you will. So we're always thinking about formation here, I guess. And we tell our kids all the time, I know this might even sound like a little cliche, but you really do become like the people you spend the most time with.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
Show
It's
me,
cliche
show me
because
your
it's true.
friends and I'll show you your future.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, because friends influence us, right? The people we spend the most time with, we start to become like them. We start to sound like them. I've even noticed in my life where I hang out with somebody, I'll start laughing like they laugh. You do that? Maybe
No.
that's just me.
I think
Maybe
that's
I'm
just you.
I'm way too moldable. I'm not sure, but we just kind of become like them, and they help to normalize certain things in our lives. They even challenge things in our lives, hopefully.
Yes.
So we start to become like the people we're around.
Makes me think of Proverbs. Again, going back to
I love
Proverbs.
Proverbs.
iron, as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, what does that actually mean?
Right. Well, I think it's always important to be asking ourselves, what is this friendship forming in me? Because yes, iron sharpens iron, but also if it's somebody that is influencing you in some other ways that aren't so good and forming you, you're still being formed into something.
We like to talk to our kids too, especially in relationships, like when your kids get older and they start having, boyfriend, girlfriend relationships.
My favorite.
Yes, it's always fun as a parent. But I would think with friendships too, but we like to ask our kids, is this person helping you be the best version of yourself?
Yeah. That's really good.
Bringing out the best things in you.
Yep.
And I think that's such a great question to ask ourselves, but then also to encourage others.
And I like that because it's not that you want relationships to necessarily change you or change who you are.
Absolutely.
It's to bring out those things. It's to bring out the things that God has gifted you with,
Yeah.
whether they're strengths or personality traits, those sorts of things. But formative friendships, they also help us see things that we don't see in ourselves.
Yikes.
And so it goes back to that point, like bringing out some things, but also those things that we don't even know about
those
ourselves.
blind spots.
The blind spots.
Right? The things that we either can't see or we don't want to see in ourselves. And I mean, I've had friends, have those heart to hearts with like, hey, I feel like this isn't really you. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Kind of bringing you back. This is who you really are.
Exactly.
Or, hey, you're more capable. Like, you actually have more inside of you than what I've seen lately.
That's good.
You could step up to the plate. I've had people tell me that all the time. And I know I talked about this with the staff this week. Pastor Jim, like, he told me that I was going to do some stuff that I didn't see myself doing or want to do.
Right.
And it was good for me, right?
Yeah.
Those people that stretch you in your life, that's so awesome.
It is. Not always easy or
Not
comfortable.
Yep.
But yes, always awesome. So we need to be willing in relationships and friendships to be able to tell the truth and to have those conversations. But we talked about this a little bit with our crucial conversations, also being able to receive it.
That's the hard one, right?
That one
they're both hard. It's hard to give criticism or constructive feedback.
Yes.
But it's also really, really hard to receive that. And so how do you receive that? How do you allow somebody else's words to form you into a better person?
I mean, Proverbs 27:6, faithful are the wounds of a friend.
Yep. We talked about it when friendship hurts, right? Those conversations aren't always easy. They can be painful. But sometimes it's even the pain from hopefully an honest, healthy friendship, or even some of those that haven't been so great. The pain from that also is part of our growth. And God
Absolutely.
will use it all.
Always.
Every bit of it.
Yep. Nothing in vain, right?
Yep.
Okay, so a friendship can't form us. If we're talking about formative friendships here. Friendships can't form us if we are not willing to be formed.
Yes.
And to be challenged and to listen and to admit if we're wrong.
I'm not good at that.
So we have to be open to being challenged.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not easy.
Yep. Because friendships can't really form you unless you're allowing yourself to be challenged. I think for me, it's easy to put up walls and not be vulnerable and allow people to offer insight into my life. But I've noticed in those seasons, I do less growing and more just kind of internal thinking, and you get a little bit too hyper focused on maybe whatever it is that you think you should be focused on, but you need people in your life that can see stuff, right? Again, that some of those blind spots, some of those things that you need to be challenged. You have to. It's important to be open to those challenges.
I think it's also important to note here, though, that like you mentioned, vulnerability, and we've talked about that. Nobody wants to be vulnerable. That's a tough thing. But this is really where trust comes in, because we can have a lot of people in our lives and influencing us in different ways and different I don't want to say, well, like different types of relationships and friendships and things like that. But these people that we really are seeking this formation, you know, and people that we're allowing in have to be people that are trustworthy.
Absolutely.
And people that know us and love us and care for us and want the best for us. And we need to be those people to others.
Right.
But not every single person in our life is going to be that
Absolutely.
person.
And I think we talked a little bit about that when we talked about boundaries.
Yes.
You know, just setting up parameters in relationships, and those boundaries are going to look different depending on the relationship that you have with that person. And boundaries can change in a relationship depending on, you know, trust being built and all that stuff. So that's really important. So we've talked a lot about kind of like ourselves and how we're being formed.
Yeah.
But also we need to be out there helping form others, because God wants to use us to form others in our lives too.
Isn't that amazing that God chooses to use us?
It's cool.
Yeah. Because he doesn't
cool.
need us.
No, he doesn't need us.
But he invites us in, and he uses people in our lives.
Yeah.
And he uses us in other people's lives. I just think that
Yeah, I love that.
is pretty crazy,
So
but also awesome.
Have you ever asked this question, though, of yourself? What are my friends actually becoming because they're friends with me?
I don't know that I've actually ever asked myself that question.
It's an interesting thing to think, because we always think about, you know, how are these people forming me?
Yeah.
But what is it about me that is forming other people? What
I
type
think
of
about that
person
with
are they
my
becoming?
kids, for
right,
sure.
Sure, absolutely.
But I don't know that I think about it as much with my friends.
Yeah. We have a lot of power in a good way, and how we influence those around us. And I think that's why it's so important to enter relationships, especially new ones, just so prayerfully. You know, asking God, like, how do you want me to interact with this person? And, you know, what type of boundaries need to be set? What type of walls need to come down?
Yeah.
So that I can be a blessing to this person and help form them into the person God is calling them to be as well.
Yeah, that's really good. You know, in 1 Thessalonians, and we may have used this one before too, but 1 Thessalonians 5:11, where Paul says, encourage one another and build one another up. Like, always just looking for those outlets to encourage one another, to build one another up, to see people with those attentive eyes.
Yeah.
Right. And just to know, like, and to also be listening to the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And what does this person need to hear right now?
Yeah, I think that's biblical friendship. Ultimately, that's what it looks like. We're not just consuming in our friendships. We're called, again, to build people up, and to be allowed to be built up as well by others.
That's good.
So again, ask that question: am I building up the people closest to me? What type of people are they becoming because they're my friend? It's a really cool question.
It is. I'm going to ask myself that more often.
Yeah, it's neat.
So I think too, then this kind of like wraps it up, like the legacy of friendship. Like when people look back, when people look back on their friendship with you, Anthony, like what will they say it gave them?
Man,
like,
I don't know. I hope they say that I offered some joy, that I offered a listening ear, trustworthy. Man, but those are some hefty goals, but I think with God's help we can do that.
And just to be thinking, like, just to have that frame of mind, like thinking about the legacy of friendship that we leave behind.
Yeah, we get so caught up in ourselves, our own stories, you know, what's God doing in me, that we forget that, man, there's other people around us that God's doing a lot of work into, and we get to be a part of that. Yeah. So if we enter those relationships with that idea of, man, I get to help God form this person, and then they get to do the same thing with me. It's really powerful.
It's very powerful. All right, so let's wrap this up with our discussion questions like we do each week. Okay, first one. What's the difference between a friend who judges you and one who knows you well enough to challenge you?
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I like it.
Okay. Next one. Who is one friend who has profoundly shaped who you are? So we kind of opened like this. So who's a friend that's profoundly shaped who you are, and what did they see in you that you couldn't see in yourself? And then lastly, who are you becoming because of your friendships? And who are your friends becoming because of you?
That's going to be a hard one, right? Might be something that's even a more reflective question for you in the coming weeks, but maybe try to answer it in your group. And then, I think it's something to think about.
Sounds great.
This has been fun.
It's been
Thanks,
really
Liz.
good. Yep. See ya.
See ya.